Oh man, these are old songs. Holy crap. Let's try. Oh, here we go. Full.
So I'm currently hearing myself on the microphone, and man, do I hate my own voice. I think everyone should hear themselves on the microphone to hear how obnoxious they are, especially freaking middle-aged 40s, women in their 40s called Karens, the ones that no one likes because they're kind of terrible human beings in general and think the world revolves around them because they're extremely entitled. We're on a beat. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoes in my bank account. Yeah. So Karens are honestly, they don't even have to be a female woman in her 40s. It can be a Bob or a John or something. Maybe even an Ian. You haven't heard of that one? You probably won't ever. This track is called Ian Says by Jacob Morgan, part 1 of the podcast. Let's talk about string theory. So inside of an atom, inside of the atom that's made up of basically quarks and other stuff that I don't know what it's called. Electrons as well, and there's some other stuff. Basic building blocks of human life, as we all know from basic chemistry. So, what makes up the quarks and the electrons and all that stuff? So string theory is basically a concept of inside of those, there's a little vibrating energy in the shape of like a ring or like a string, and it loops around. And so it vibrates at a certain frequency and rate, kind of like everything else. So our world is based off of vibrations. And so in order for string theory to be true, there has to be 10 other dimensions. Yeah, I don't know anything else about it. That's all I know. It's pretty interesting, though. So
Google came along and ruined our lives. David, if you're hearing this, it's too late. You and Sir John need to stop them. Save them. Google is taking over. Your mom has herpes. She got him from Sir John. David, Sir John have cancer. Your mom's gay.
Why is it spicy?
Use that one for a sample right there. Make a beat out of
pretty
that.
interesting. So looking at the red stop button, why is it universally known that red means stop? Is it universally known? I don't know. I've never been to like China where they have stoplights, or India. Well, they don't really even have roads. It's probably like dirt or something. Not sure. I've seen like videos of like so many accidents there because like they don't have roads or something. Yeah. Sir John looks awkward when he stands there. He's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just talking to myself. We are in the Library of Science and Industry. Have you ever seen Night at the Museum? It's a very weird movie when you think about it. Like, who gets locked in? Oh, I guess he's a night guard, but it's just a weird concept of a movie. Like, who would ever go and, I don't know. I swear, some of these people who make movies they must be on like LSD or something. Kind of like the people that make Snapchat filters. Like, recently there's a Snapchat filter that turns you into a piece of broccoli. Like, who thought of that? Like, I want to be broccoli. Let's make it into a Snapchat filter. Yeah. It sounds fun, apparently, to some people. It's pretty funny, I guess I'll give them that, but maybe that's their intention. Also, why is it such a big deal for a person to want to go to space? Like, just go to space. Make your own spaceship or something. Who needs Tesla or Elon Musk to send you to Mars to never come back? And there's a lot of people apparently who are willing to go to Mars. Pretty interesting, I guess. I guess they figured, hey, why not be one of the people whose names is on maybe like a plaque or something of the launch site of I went to space and Mars and I'm still up there until you die. What do they do with you if you die? You just like toss you out or turn you into compost or something? I wonder if that's an option for people down here. Get turned into compost and be a community garden. Like, oh, my grandma was buried there. I grew my tomatoes last week inside Grandma. Grandma is my new tomato. So we're going to call this first podcast of Ian's thoughts. We have no script, nothing. I'm just trying not to make like awkward silences because I don't know why they're so awkward. Like, in order for something to be awkward, people just kind of make it awkward. Like, just try to be relaxed and calm. Like during job interviews, like if you're like just kind of staring at them, not talking, that's awkward. Just don't be awkward. Like, just try to come up with like a small situation or an answer or a conversation topic. You know, because like, who wants to hire the weird guy who just stares at you in an interview? I mean, obviously you're going to be nervous, but just try to relax. That's a tip from me, professional, from my experience with like 4 or 5 interviews total. You know, that's all you need though. Also, let's talk about experience. So some argue that experience isn't everything, which obviously makes true because there's so much more that goes into experience. There's wisdom, there's knowledge, and so even if you do have so much experience, you could be not very smart and not apply that experience to your everyday life. I mean, you know, some of it's unconscious, like you unconsciously, oh, I remember how that happened last time, so I don't do that. This doesn't make any sense, but I don't know. YouTube is very suppressive to right-wing content for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. You know, it just happens. I cannot wait till Jacob turns this room into like an awesome freaking tech room, like Linus Tech Tips maybe or something. He start his own LTT store, lttstore.com. Check it out, shameless plug. Not Jacob's store yet, but you know. You know what else is crazy? Tornadoes. Like a big circular tube of wind. Like whoever thought that was going to happen? Like you're just chilling in the field, you know, rainy weather, of course. All of a sudden you just see the clouds start swirling. Like, what do you do now? It rips your house out of the ground. The only safe place is in the basement. And I'm sure back then their basements must have been absolutely terrible. Even if they had basements. Because digging that stuff out, like without heavy equipment, that would take forever. I guess that's why maybe, actually, you know, maybe I take it back because we still have some artifacts of like houses and stuff. Not artifacts, but like memorials. Not memorials, but like historian places where like the historic stuff used to stand. And, you know, like the pillars, the Colosseums, the big stone hedges. All of that stuff is still around. I guess they knew what they were doing back then. Same with roads. Like, you still have some ancient roads that are still there today. But our engineers today, the roads that they design don't last that long. I guess they didn't have, like, cars flying over it and ripping up the asphalt and stuff like that. But they still had weather and ice and snow and stuff that would still tear it up. And somehow they still last. I don't know. I mean, I don't like driving on brick roads because you got to drive slow. I think I haven't done that really. Maybe like once or twice.